You're too lucky.
Varane, Varane, yeah, is dropping so many dimes on what the situation is. And I think there's a couple important things. And I'll probably start here because this is one of the biggest things. And someone actually tagged me in this. Shout out Fergie's right. I think, yeah. He's always messaging me, to be honest. Let me make sure it's Fergie's right, ref. Yeah, he don't mess around. He's gonna message me. That guy. Some days we agree, other days no. Anyway, here we go. Rafa Varane on the key differences in the running of Man United compared to Real Madrid. At Madrid, you can see that for years there has been a framework, and players added. A player is added, some leave, but there's always a solid foundation. When you recruit young, talented players, they have to learn before they can play. It gives them time to develop. When I arrived at the age of 18, I had no responsibilities in the dressing room. I was just there to learn. At United, they can recruit a very expensive young player and immediately play him with all the responsibilities in an extremely difficult league. He's got the huge weight on his shoulders straight away. And when I think of that, I quickly think of players like, and I think of like Xerxes. Xerxes can be in that category. Xerxes, Garnacho, Rasmus, Euro. Euro's a new one, where they're, again, the responsibility on these guys to save this club is nothing short of embarrassing. It is. It's embarrassing. Now we're going to say we're going to move that responsibility on, obviously, to Cheeto, to all the youngsters that are going to come in and play now. The foundation is not solid. When you talk about the foundation, the foundation can't run anymore. And I'm not here to listen. I don't want to be. This is not going to be another depressing, woe is me type show. But it's really pointing out what Man United have kind of done over the years. When you're talking about, the certain people need to be in there that are not there. So how do you build that stability? How do you build that? I'll never forget Jude Bellingham. Yeah, he was talking about when they won the Champions League. And Modric and all these other players were telling him about, listen, enjoy your first one because this is what we do here. The first one's the cool one, and it's probably the most special, but we move on and we win more. Bro, they're preparing this guy for Champions League success. They're like, bro, this is the first one. Make sure you go and celebrate a bit. Don't go too crazy. Have to get your feet back on the ground. Like, as in, the feeling and expectation of the club is, this is how we do things here. And it's been long removed. There's been that argument about, people blaming Jesse Lingard, blaming Pogba, blaming all these players for the standards. But guess what? There was no rule. The changing of the guard never made sense at Man United. And when you do turn around and look at the most experienced player in the dressing room, probably hasn't won anything, hasn't really achieved anything in his career, but he's just a brand, it's a problem. It is a problem. So again, not blaming the likes of Pogba, Rashford, Jesse, but the dressing room did definitely change and it hasn't been rectified. You didn't bring in these perennial winners. Look at when Ronaldo came back and Ronaldo said, yo, these lot are not serious. We've actually heard these words before. These lot are not on it the way we need to be on it to be a successful club. And Man United has never really managed that. And now the new thing is, when are we going to get a hold of that? When are we going to get a hold of people that are going to maybe make these guys accountable? And it's on so many different levels, so many different things that the club is broken that you're now seeing the cracks in all places. So let's keep going. Let's keep going, because I thought there was some interesting. I can't believe. Well, a lot of us said this before. Ten Hag lost the dressing room. Ten Hag totally lost the dressing room. Not even kind of lost the dressing room. Man United are interested in Liam Delap. He'll cost 40 million. I think I'd bring him in, but that's another conversation. Where we at? Let's keep going. Here we go. Yes, I read that one already. Varane on Eric Ten Hag. I was surprised he stayed on. The connection with the team no longer existed. Let's go. This is what happened. Him and a lot of people obviously that were on revisionism FC. So it's good to get into this revisionism right now. Ravan on Eric Ten Hag dropping in without explanation. We had a robust discussion. We each told each other some truth, but then I didn't play for almost 2 months. I said I didn't agree with certain ways of doing things in regard to relationship between him and the team. It was something I thought was good for the team because of some players weren't all satisfied. It was not good in terms of a relationship with the coach. He said, okay, I heard what you said. After that, I was gone. Ten Hag said, oh yeah, come to me. My door's always open. Respect it still. I got open door policy. Move. Where's the other one? There was one he talks about. This is when I thought these players make me sick. This guy spoke about FA Cup, yeah. He said, we all had a conversation and we decided to lock in. And that was what it was. We decided, regardless of our relationship and what's gone wrong so far, we're all going to lock in this game. Criminals. Criminals, bro. Crims. Young criminals. We all had a conversation and we decided we're going to be 100% dedicated. Huh? I don't know if that part of the article went over your head, yeah? It didn't go over mine, bro. I said, wait a minute. Choice. So you're... Wait, hold on. So you're saying you, man, didn't like the way my man was moving and you was disillusioned with his way of how you were disillusioned. You were pissed off a bit. But in the final, you decided, yeah, so everyone looked each other in the eye and said, let's give 100%. Whew. You know when you hear a comment? Yeah, and it doesn't do what the player imagines it's going to do. That's what it did for me. I listened to that and I said, oh, so then you lot choose criminality. So you lot didn't like him, wanted him gone, clearly down tools, was surprised he was staying, but then what? We have this mentality at the club. This mentality is at the club. Now, don't get it twisted. They said they came together and decided on this FA Cup day, they will not allow, they won't allow it. They're not trying to lose this game. And for the life of me, I thought, well, where is that energy in the league? If you lot can decide to beat Manchester City today, and guess what? That still exists right now. Amorim speaks to that moment right now. He goes, in those games, I don't have to tell them, in against Liverpool or all these other games, they're locked in. Everyone knows what they're doing. When it's the game that they're supposed to win and it's like, we should be better than that club, then we see something else. So now we know there's a habit of these players saying, I'm gonna, I don't know, mail it in. That's the word. I'm gonna mail it in. This performance right now, I'm gonna kind of concentrate. I'm not gonna give my all because F the manager. We know they have that. And Leopard don't change their spots. How do we know that's not happening right now? How do we know with the style of management that Amorim's on or system, the players have decided, I don't actually care anymore? They've done it before. This is the culture at the club. This is the culture. You're saying Ten Hag's getting one-on-one with one prominent player. Didn't say who that player was, always singing him out and this, that, and the other. But we've been waiting for somebody to go at these players. Ten Hag lost that battle, clearly. Amorim is having a new battle. Walked in and experiencing something right now. Are we now saying, yeah, those players have decided they're not going to do what they've done before? Let's break it down. I'll run, but I'm not going to run that hard. And we spoke about intensity being coached. It can't be coached. It's a decision. These players are making decisions on the pitch. Bro, even when you look back at that Spurs game, all these games, why are you, man, not locked in? I'm not saying, again, when you can breed a culture of, we don't like this, I don't like how we're being treated as players, don't like how you got rid of certain guys, actually, might not run. I've been meaning to make this post. I'm unsure of whether some has done one before. I rarely use Reddit about what Man United should actually expect when it comes to Ruben Amorim. I'm a Sporting fan, and I've watched pretty much every single game of Amorim's time at my club, and seeing as he hasn't been able to immediately turn around Man United's form, which, as you will see further in this post, I wasn't expecting to happen anyway. I felt it was appropriate to post what I feel you should expect from him. Cool. 1, don't expect miracles. This is absolutely the most important point of all, hence why I open with it. When Amorim took charge of Sporting, he also stated midway through the season, although much later on, and at the end of the season, Sporting finished 4th, worse than usual, third at time. Amorim needs months to implement his style of play, which I'll touch upon later. And just like Sporting at the time, Man United's team is not very compatible with it. With that said, 2, expect big players to leave. Amorim will most likely sell players that have been huge assets to the team previously, but simply don't match his style and may even detract from it. More than that, in a bit, if you look at the team Amorim inherited when he took charge of Sporting and the team which he started his next season, you'll see what I mean. Cool. Number 3, locker room management. Amorim has always made it a stipulation that players he manages are positive influences on the locker room. Whoa. Dynamics, getting rid of players that might be huge assets but otherwise damage the team in some way. As examples, for you have Marcus Acuna, which was one of the best players Sporting had at the time, but he was extremely hot-headed and so immediately sold on the first transfer market window under Amorim. There's Islam Slimani, which returned to Sporting as a fan favorite and immediately started scoring goals, which is what our main striker wasn't doing. Slimani, however, started getting cocky and was immediately pushed to the sidelines and left after only half a season. 4, tactics formation. Expect a 3-4-3 every time. All of the time, Amorim barely deviates from this formation. Instead of changing the players in the starting 11, depending on characteristics, he wants the team to display. Number 5, transfer policy. As previously stated, Amorim most likely won't consider someone who could destabilize the team's backroom dynamics, and that means a lot of big established players are unlikely to join, as tensions could arise from that. And if the Slimani case shows anything, is that Amorim would rather have a strong team union than individual stars. Due to this, expect Man United to sign more young and lesser known players, also likely for cheaper and have large amounts of potential. This is the exact model that brought players like Gyökeres to Sporting. Brother, this guy, well, that was one of my best reads, I'm not going to lie to you.